everyone. My name is Neha Tandon and we were doing Indian banking system and the topic was RBI's monetary policy. So we have so far done two parts of monetary policy of RBI, and in those parts we have discussed what are the basic definition, what is the purpose of making a monetary policy, and how does it work. Okay, so it works through different instruments. There are different instruments of monetary policy which are quantitative as well as qualitative. Quantitative instruments are applicable to all of them. That means that if a quantitative instrument is taken up, it is applicable to all the banks, all the commercial bank, all the apex bank, be it public sector bank or private sector bank. But these qualitative functions, as we can see here, change in margin money, direct action, moral suasion, there are a few others also. So all these are selective in nature. They can be applied wherever required. Okay, so now we will see what is the objective of monetary policy. That means why monetary policy is there at all. What are all functions done by the monetary policy? Although the scope of monetary policy is very huge, but still we are going to discuss few major points in this. So first of all, the purpose is price stability. So what is meant by price stability? Price stability is required for foreign exchange as well. Price stability in a country's currency brings many investors from outside. So FDI, FPI, both of these things are also welcomed in our country when price stability is there. All right, so this is controlled by RBI. Price stability implies promoting economic development with considerable emphasis on price stability. The center of focus is to facilitate the environment which is favorable to the architecture that enables the developmental projects to run swiftly, while also maintaining reasonable price stability. All right, so the business should run very smoothly. If price stability is there, it can run more smoothly. All right. So next point is controlled expansion of bank credit. So there should be expansion of bank credit, but it should be in a controlled manner. One of the important functions of RBI is the controlled expansion of bank credit and money supply with special attention to seasonal requirements for credit without affecting the input. So in all this thing, we must concentrate on seasonal requirement. What is seasonal requirement? For example, in India, there are different timings in which the agriculture loan should be provided. Agricultural credit needs to be provided by RRBs, Navrad, and many other banks, cooperative banks, etc. This should be there in order to help farmers maintain a price stability, maintain a credit stability. They must be having at the time of sowing so that they do not go to unorganized sector for money. All right. So that is seasonal requirement. That means the money is not required all around the year. Money is required by many people at a specific time. So at that specific time, the banks should not be having less amount of money. They should be available with the money. So that kind of seasonal requirement should be met here. Next is promotion of fixed investment. The aim here is to increase the productivity of investment by restraining non-essential fixed investment. So non-essential fixed investment should not be there, but essential fixed investment is required by the country. Why is it required? This fixed investment, which is done by the individuals, brings out the money in their household to the banking system, to our economy. This money is used by government for different schemes, and in turn, an interest is provided to the holder of the deposit. All right. So that is required for running a country. Next is restriction of inventories. What does restriction of inventories mean? When there is a good amount of interest paid on deposits, then people come and deposit money in the banks. But overfilling of stocks and products become outdated due to excess of stocks often results in sickness of the unit. So when stocks are collected at a specific place due to excess of money, it can lead to sickness of any kind of unit. To avoid this problem, the Central Monetary Authority carries out the essential function of restricting the inventories. The main objective of this policy is to avoid overstocking and idle money in the organization. Okay, so next is promotion of export credit. Promotion of exports and food procurement operations. Here, let's see, monetary policy pays special attention to in order to boost exports and facilitate the trade. It is an independent objective of monetary policy. Okay, so in this way, it also helps FCI in food procurement. You must have seen this thing in budget as well, that promotion of exports and food procurement is also one of the objectives of RBI, because this brings our country one step forward in the international market. Food procurement is an essential need, whereas export is something which brings our country at a good position in international market. Whereas food procurement is required for our countrymen to be fed and for our farmers to get the minimum support prices. So both these things are taken care by RBI in its monetary policy. So here you can see that this is a very exhaustive policy. Although this is made for short terms, but still it is taking care of each and every aspect of the economy. Next is desired distribution of credit. So what does that mean? That obviously desire is something where we want to do something. So it is specific in nature. Monetary authority has control over decisions regarding the allocation of credit to the priority sector and small borrowers. This policy decides over the specific percentage of credit that is to be allocated to the priority sector and small borrowers. All right. So what is the priority sector? We all know these are agriculture people who are doing agriculture, animal husbandry. All these farmers are included in it. Artisans, small businessmen, all those are included in it. Because as we can also see, our country is concentrating on all these people, because by their help only entrepreneurship spree can come up in our country, and they are the only one who can make our Atmanirbhar Bharat dream come true. Okay, so that is desirable distribution of credit. Moving further from this, equitable distribution of credit should be there. So what is equitable distribution of credit? The policy of Reserve Bank aims equitable distribution to all sectors of the economy and all social and economic class of people. So it should not be like that if you are a big corporate, then you have more access to funds, and if you are a small individual, not by small I means you are a normal individual, you have got a small business and you are a normal person, then you do not have that access to money. It should not be there. In fact, RBI is more selective in this thing, that it provides more facilities to small borrowers, as we have seen in the above point also. The next point is to promote efficiency. So what do we mean by promoting the efficiency? All these steps that we have seen before this, and moreover all the instruments that are there, in these we have seen that it is another essential aspect where the central bank pays a lot of attention. It tries to increase the efficiency in the financial system and tries to incorporate structural changes such as deregulating interest rates, ease operational constraints in the credit delivery system, to introduce new money market instruments, etc. So what are money market instruments? Money market instruments are the instruments which are available for investment for short term. So these are short term investments which are for less than 1 year. So the maximum duration for which they are available is 364 days. As I have already mentioned that these are the treasury bills which are available for 364 days. Also, they are available for the time duration as less as 1 day as well. Okay, next is reducing rigidity. So how it is reducing rigidity? RBI tries to bring about flexibility in the operations